call this meeting of the HHR Building Committee to order. Tonight is Wednesday, December 18th, 2024 at 6 o'clock. I don't have, well, the first thing is approval of the meeting minutes from HHR from our meeting on November 20th. May I have a motion to approve those minutes? Again, the HHRBC meeting on November 20th, 2024. That is Tom seconded by Rob Cardone. All those in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you all.
Hey, Jill,
Yes,
we're not recording. Could you please press record?
it
Oh,
says
it's recorded.
I know
on
the
my
Read
computer.
AI notes are recording it. You have to record it through Zoom so we can record the video.
Okay. It says I have to
apologies.
pause the recording.
Okay, sorry, it's not showing mine as recording. I just wanted to make sure. My apologies.
No. It's wise to check. It shows on mine that it is. Okay. Next order of business is public comment. I don't think we have anyone on here for public comment. We do not. So with that, I'll move on to the chair's report. Thank you to Scott, Eric, Dave Cravenzola for showing up for the building tour last Saturday or the Saturday before. That was extremely helpful. We really appreciate you guys taking the time on a Saturday morning to walk people through what's happening with the buildings, first of all. Second of all, it is so exciting to see what's going on out there. So thank you. Scott will take a few minutes to walk us through all of it. However, it is December 18th, and I know a lot of people have a lot of things going on at this time of year. So Scott is going to keep it nice and tight for us so we can make sure that we get to those pay apps on the sooner side while we still have quorum. So with that, I will turn it over to Scott for the project updates. First, the update on the key project milestones and the upcoming schedule.
Okay. So we could start with Henley. We are right now trending on schedule. We did a poll plan to get us to drywall complete on Tuesday, and that tracks us just about a week ahead of schedule to where we are on the schedule now. So that's all trending good. We should be watertight in the next week. With the holidays, things tend to drag out a little bit longer, guys. It's time off and etc. So in the next week or so, we should be watertight over there as far as getting the roof finished. Interior wise, working on piping and duct work on the interior where we can. Until that roof is 100%, we have to wait for that to get the rest of the duct work in. On the exterior, it's pretty much stabilized for now. The next big work we have left to do outside is that retention system, and that's going to be held off for a little while.
That's held off. Why, Scott?
For logistics, because once we dig that hole for that retention system, you can't drive. We can't use the entrance that we're using. We would have to come in from the back of the building. So that's a little bit further down the road, but we'll be getting there soon. So that's kind of it for Henley right now. Anybody have any questions regarding Henley? Moving over to Homes. Homes classroom edition is watertight. The heat is set up and operational in there now. We should be starting drywall in there by the end of this year. We have, ductwork hanging, insulated, piping hanging and insulated inside that addition. Walls are being finished to be roughed in electrically and plumbing wise. So that the classroom edition is moving along really well. The roof is, watertight, and last thing to make the building 100% watertight is to spray the waterproofing on the exterior sheathing, but all the joints and windows are wrapped and covered with the AVB, so it's 98% watertight. And the music wing edition is being framed right now. They started setting roof rafters and trusses this week on the music wing. And we plan to have that watertight by the second week of January. And we also did a pull plan for drywall, basically on the music wing, seeing the classroom wing is trending ahead of schedule right now with starting drywall by the end of the year. So the music wing is still trending on schedule for drywall completion. And on the exterior there, one of the last big pieces of the exterior work is, again, the retention system in the back, and that will be starting soon because that is out of the way of our work. Storm drainage is pretty much complete aside from that retention system. And so is the sanitary work. That goes for well as for Henley as well. The sanitary work is completed there as well. And then Royal is trending a little bit behind both of these other two schools, but it is not far behind, and we are expecting to be watertight by the end of the year. So they, the weather hasn't been that favorable the past week with rain, but we have sheathing on the walls. It's ready for AVB. Roofers got materials there and is ready to roof as soon as we get a break in the weather, which I believe they'll be starting hopefully tomorrow. And AVB should be starting tomorrow as well, and working through Friday and Saturday and continue on there. So I think like I said, by the end of the year, we're going to be real close to watertight on that building as well. The exterior on that building, there's a lot going on. That retention system is actually going in right now. I believe they were moving our fenced in area today in order to give us the room to continue that retention system. This was coordinated with the school and with Natasha because we're eating up a little bit more of their field area. Once we have the retention system in, we'll pull the fence back in. But it is going to be, still kind of torn up that area, but I don't know how much they go outside in the wintertime. I really don't know that process there, if they're out in the grass or not. They didn't seem to express any issue with the work that we had planned. So, and the courtyard work drainage is completed as well. So that will be caught up with the rest of them. So it's really only maybe a week or so behind where the other two schools are. But everything's in good shape, and we're trending on schedule.
Great. Thank you. With that, Scott, any questions from the committee? No. Okay. All right. With that, can we move on to an update from you all on any pending material change orders? Anything you want to speak to today, or are we in good shape?
So we did discuss change orders at the last meeting. I went over them with Paul on site. And I know Jameson, I think you signed off. Matt had sent you guys another refresher for the A-Connect stuff. So I have not received any change orders back from the building committee signed. I cannot create any state change orders until I create an AIA change order. I need the change orders that we've sent in signed and back to me so I can create the AIA change order. So I don't know where the hangup is right now.
I've signed, just real quick, I've signed all of my portion. I think Paul just needs to go and sign the remaining ones.
So Jill, I don't know how to make this a quicker process.
Okay.
Are we at the point where we could at least get the committee to, even if we get the committee to vote on them, right? I mean, that's at that point, it's formally adopting the change.
Meaning, could we do that as a process, or meaning we have change orders that are at that level of significance?
Once they're signed, right? I mean,
right.
There's the ability for changes to be approved,
right?
Without the full committee because of their dollar value. There are some that there are no signatures going on it until there's a review and approval of the committee as a whole because of the size. But regardless of that, it's always very good practice that the committee puts into their meeting minutes each of these proposed change orders,
Mhm.
its value, and like a motion and an approval, just for when it comes time for auditing and stuff like that. It's very good course of action to do that.
Okay, that's a little different than what we've discussed to date, so let's talk about that at OAC on Friday. Because if we need to do that, we need to change the materials that we prepare for the meeting each time. And so I'm more than happy to do that if it's best practice. I think it's a little different from Oxbridge, but I'm happy to do best practice. We just would need the committee to make sure that it has the information it needs. In the meantime, we can follow up with Paul and get him to sign off on whatever's remaining on ACONX. Okay?
Yeah. That would be
All
good.
right.
Like I said, then we can create an AIA change order and get that actually in motion and
All right, so if you guys will put that on the
Go to the
OAC agenda, I'll follow up with Chris and Paul.
Yeah, and I've don't think we got any new ones since that last meeting we had, Scott. So everything was the ones we discussed. Those are all cleared. I didn't see any. I followed Matt's cheat sheet, went through. I didn't see anything else that was pending. So, but I'm staying alert of it. So as soon as I see them personally, I will go through, review them. If approved, or rejected, or whatever.
Yep.
And we'll just make sure Paul does the same.
And you're all set using, going through ACONX. You got
Yep, Matt's cheat sheet was very helpful. Thanks, Matt.
Okay,
Oh, great.
great. All right, with that, we'll move on to the pay apps. Scott, do you want to walk us through the dollar amount of each pay app?
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 second. I didn't have those pulled up. Sorry. So the Royal Pay application for this month, the current payment due is $605,746.50.
All right, are there any questions? While Scott's pulling up the next one, are there any questions about Royal? Okay, with that, may I have a motion to approve the Royal Pay app for $605,746.50. That's Tom, seconded by Rob. All those in favor? Sarah, I assume you're a yes. Or she's in Greenwich. That's unanimous. She's a yes. Okay. Scott, what's the next one?
Pay application for Holmes Elementary School is $710,047.62.
Okay. Any questions about what's on Holmes? Okay. With that, may I have a motion to approve the Holmes pay app for $710,047.62? Rob, seconded by Paige. All those in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you. Okay.
And then the Henley pay application is current payment due $639,590.43.
Okay. Any questions about Henley? All right. With that, may I have a motion to approve Henley for $639,590.43? Rob, seconded by Jameson. All those in favor? That is unanimous. Okay, good.
But just as a heads up to everybody, these pay applications have all been kind of around the same dollar amount, pretty much since we started. Just so you know, December's is you're probably going to see a bit of a bump in the number because the mechanical contractor has not billed to date, so they should be billing in December. So that number is going to bump up a little bit. That'll be the reason behind that, just so you know going into it.
Okay, thank you for that heads up. All right, and with that, Sarah or Jameson, is there any communications update this week or this month?
I don't have any. Sarah might. I do not.
Okay. Our next meeting is Wednesday, January 15th at 6 p.m. Anything else from anyone?
I do.
Yes,
Jim.
Rob. Yes.
First of all, great job by you and Chris. I know Chris is not here on the communication you put together.
Oh, good.
December 3rd, I know it's a couple weeks old, but it worked really well with the Board of Finance last night. So a request came out of the Board of Finance, and it's kind of interesting. And it's probably something, Scott, for you and Dave, and maybe me to think about is, you know, we're going to start, obviously, we're ramping up spending, right? We spent, I think the last number was like 17.1. It's probably a couple weeks, you know, on our way to 101. So the board, you know, we have to kind of rate, you know, we're raising bonds for it, right? So the theory is what kind of timing do we have, and, you know, when will funds be due? And is it possible to get, I'll just call it like a cash flow, Dave and Scott.
I sent out a cash flow projection, Rob, at the beginning of the job.
Is there one out there? Apologies. Yeah.
There is, and no, that's fine. You know, so with the mechanical contractor not billing, I think it's a little wonky right now, but I'd like to wait and see what this next December bill was, and I wanted to update it, and I can get that to you after the new year, maybe.
Yeah, that would be great. It's not something I need by the end of the year or anything like that, but we got to start thinking about how much funds we want to raise, how much bonds we want to issue out there, and how we issue them for the rest of 25, and then theoretically, so, you know, parts of 26. But if you can just put that on your radar for me, let's get this mechanical piece, as you said, if it's a little wonky, get it back to me, then I can share it with the board, and we can start thinking about how much money, how and when we want to raise money.
You know, so right now, you know, everything's been below. I have the original one that I made, and I track it, you know, monthly.
Can you send it?
Doing my internal reports, so
Yeah,
you can see where we're at.
Yeah, would you mind sending it to me, Scott? So I
Yeah,
can
I'll shoot that over to you, and this way you can see where we're at.
it'll make a great conversation piece for the holidays. So,
And then, like I said, we'll see where it lands when I get this. When I finally get the mechanical contractor on board here.
sounds great.
Okay.
Well, I'll use this
So
kind of a placeholder for now, knowing another one's coming in 2 to 3 weeks or whatever it
Yep.
is.
Sounds good.
Is that probably mid-January you'd be updating it, or more like mid-February?
Yeah, I think I should be able to update it hopefully by mid-January. I just, you know, with the holidays and then end of month stuff and the building committee meetings on the 15th in January, I'm going to be kind of swamped as soon as the new year hits.
Okay, so maybe Sarah can put it on as an agenda item, just that way
Yeah,
we can
absolutely.
have a gander at it ourselves
Yeah.
too for mid-January.
Yeah, if you want, I could shoot that projection over to everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
But we'll put it on the, you know, if something changes, just let us know. Otherwise, we'll plan to take a look at it together in January again, just so everyone has the information. All right. Anything else? Alan?
Just real quickly, just when we get back, I can coordinate with ONG services, probably something for the OAC meeting more than this one, but I just want to reconvene with our principals for the next level of the phasing, even though it's down the line a wee bit. I think it's important that we check back in that the phasing plans are still the same. Mostly it's organizational from within the school, but I'll coordinate that with ONG, but I just want them, it's not pressure to do it quickly, but I think I'd rather do it sooner than later, just to make sure that the phasing is as we planned it to be. But with that, I just want to thank you all for all the work you've done. Take a wee break, and happy holidays to you.
Thanks,
Yes.
Dr. Adler.
Yeah. Hey, Alan,
Absolutely.
I'm sorry that I didn't give you a call back. Do you want to talk tomorrow?
Oh, that's fine. No, you're fine, Dave. Whenever you're up and around, it's fine. That's
Okay.
fine.
All right. Okay.
No problem.
Do you guys get holidays? Oh,
I'm using up some of my time because otherwise, if I don't use it, I lose it. So
okay. All
I'm
right.
going to enjoy a little Christmas time off, but I will definitely be working from this spot that I'm in right now during the holiday break.
Yeah, I'm sure your wife's gonna be really happy about that.
Oh, yeah, she
You're
will
off,
be.
but working all day. So.
I'll echo Alan's wish for happy holidays and thanks in advance for the work you'll be doing also during the holiday period, because I know it's for the littles so that they have less to endure when they're in the building. So thank you. With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn. And thank you all for the speedy meeting. That's Rob, seconded by Tom. All those in favor. Take care, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah.
Hi.
Happy holidays.